There was once a little elf named Ari who wanted to make everything perfect for Santa, so she decorated, fluffed all the pillows, and even made Santa a little snack. But what she really wanted was to make a giant gingerbread house just to impress him.
And we need cookies.
While she waited for all of her supplies for this giant gingerbread house to arrive, she decided it's the perfect time to get a Ring Video Doorbell too. Now this is absolutely perfect because whenever someone is at your door, you can actually answer it directly on your phone.
Did you hear that? There's a doorbell.
The Ring app will let you see who's at your door, and you can even speak to them one-on-one. So this is perfect for telling delivery drivers where to leave your package and for deterring package thieves. So this gives you a little peace of mind while you're away from home, and you can check in while you're traveling. And you always know when any of your packages or Christmas gifts arrive, which is also a plus. You can also gift this to a loved one, because what better way to tell someone you care than to give them the gift of safety. So be sure to check out the Ring Video Doorbell too. The link will be in my description, and let's go ahead and get started on this giant gingerbread house. So to build the gingerbread house, we used extra large heavy-duty moving boxes, and this is my nephew Chris who's gonna be helping me out today. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape these flaps and bend them a little just so I can see the bend, and I'm gonna connect the bend with the top piece where it folds just to make the little house shape, and I'm gonna do this to the other side. Now we used 2 cardboard boxes for this, but you can go ahead and use 4 if you want to double up. Now it's time to cut this out, so we're gonna put a cardboard box underneath this just so we don't mess up the floor. And then we are going to cut through both the front and the back to create the front and the back of the house. But like I said, if you wanted to use 2 cardboard boxes for this, you can, but it's sturdy as is. So once all of the pieces are cut off, we're gonna take those extra pieces that we had left over, and we are going to cover up that little bend right there. So we're just going to take that extra cardboard just to save ourselves a little money, cut it up into pieces and put it in the middle and wherever it bends, just so it doesn't flip back, even though this is really heavy duty and it's not going to flip. We should have used some heavier tape, but we just used heavy duty packing tape since it was clear. But you can also glue this into place or hot glue this. It is totally up to you. So now we went ahead and separated the 2 pieces of cardboard. You can do this beforehand if you really want to, but I wanted to cut the little house shape out precisely, so that's why we did it this way. Once we separate it, we're going to do the same thing to the other house, which is cover up that little gap area, and then we're going to move on to the side panels. So now we have the front, the back, and now we're going to get another cardboard box that is the same size, and we're going to do the side panels. So for this, we're just going to take off the top flaps for the side panels, and for the roof, we are going to take the top and bottom flaps, and you'll see just a second why. So now my nephew is going to cut that down the middle and separate those 2 pieces. So this is going to be the side panel because he's just going to remove that top flap or the bottom flap, whatever flap, just only remove 1 flap so that it is the height of the front and side of the house. With the other half of that same cardboard box, and now we are going to cut the top and bottom flap, and that is going to equal the little roof. So top, bottom, and then separate those 2 pieces. This is what the roof should look like, and now you can either go ahead and cut out windows and doors, or you can just paint them in. I decided to cut them out, and honestly, I probably could have done without this because the house is still a little too on the short side to have someone go in and out. But what I did was I measured out to make sure that everything was the same size and straight, and then we cut that out but left 1 piece uncut so it can close and open. I then took one of the flaps and just glued it onto that piece so it doesn't bend, put some white on it, and cut out my windows. And like I said, you can just paint these on. You don't have to cut these at all, but I really thought that it would make it look really cute. I'm only going to do this to the front panel, so now it's time to attach, and we're going to make sure that all of the pieces with the writing are facing up so that we can add the tape to the inside. So we're going to put all the panels in order and start taping them together. Like I said, you can use better tape, but we wanted to stick to clear, and honestly this was enough. Now you're going to want this to be able to bend upwards, and you're going to do side panel, front of house, side panel, back of house. So we're going to scoot that over and tape the final piece. And then to attach it all together, we're going to have to lift the house up. The final piece is going to have to be taped from the inside. So my nephew squeezed his way in and just added the final piece of tape. Or you can do it from the outside and just make sure that you cover up all the tape lines. And Arya is helping figure out where the roof is going to go. Now that we are no longer using anything sharp, she is all about helping out. However, we are using hot glue for the top so that you don't see any tape marks at all. But of course you can use regular craft glue, Elmer's glue, whatever glue you have. So we're going to put both of our roof panels on top, and this is what we are left with. So now it is time to decorate, and I'm using some fluffy yarn to add the icing. You can do this however you want, but I thought that this was the most efficient way. For the whole house, we only used one roll, and I started with the trim, just adding bits of hot glue and working my way down. The reason we chose the chunky yarn is because it covered up all the seams nicely without making a huge mess. We were originally going to use caulking, and we were kind of scared that that would basically wet the cardboard a little bit. So we decided to go this route, and honestly, I think it looks really good. So after I finished the trim on the roof, I decided to add the details, and as you can see, my little assistant elf Ari is holding all of the yarn that we have left. Now this part was really easy. To make the little details on the roof, you can go ahead and draw it beforehand, but I just added dabs of glue and only glued the little dips. Like I said, if you wanted to draw this on first and then follow that line, that would probably look a little neater, but I kind of like that it looks not so neat. This is what one side looks like finished, and Arya is obviously supervising the work and telling us what we need to do next. And now I'm going to continue the trim on the sides of the house and basically anywhere where it looks funky. So I did the windows, the doors, and now it is time to decorate. So I got this tree topper and I just cut off the peppermints and hot glued them in place. Because these are glittery, you might want to do some hot glue on the back, let it dry, and then put some more hot glue and paste it on there because the glitter doesn't really let it adhere. For the rest of the house, we just continued to add random Christmas ornaments that we ordered online or that we found in stores. We just made sure to cover up any imperfection in the cardboard and make sure that we filled it up really well so that it looked like a real gingerbread house. We added all of the goodies that we had. We added some red ornaments to the top to look like gumdrops and some plastic candy canes around the border. And I love the way it looks. Arya absolutely loves it, and we definitely think that Santa will be impressed. A big thank you to Ring for sponsoring this video, and be sure to check out the Ring Video Doorbell too. The link will be in my description, and as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will hopefully see you on the next one.